Hi, and welcome to the Nest Digital Engineering video blog. Today we have a special guest. We're going to be interviewing Scott Schlesinger, who is the Senior Vice President for Global Data and Analytics, and he's the practice leader in that space at Nest Digital Engineering. Scott has an extensive background helping folks create data and analytics programs, leveraging that data for artificial intelligence. He's a speaker and an author on business intelligence, advanced analytics, data privacy, data governance, and artificial intelligence. Clearly a very wide and diverse background in all things data. Very excited to get the chance to talk to Scott today and get some insights on how data programs could be set up and might work in your organization. So without further ado, let's talk to Scott. Welcome to the Nest vlog entry, and thank you very much for participating with us on working to understand better the data modernization capabilities of Nest and the opportunities really that our customers have.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for having me, Sean.
My first question is kind of a straight out of the gun, right? Which is this idea that the promise of big data and data and analytics has been out there for quite a while, right? Many organizations have tried to work with big data and move through it and get value from it, derive value from it. What's different? How can we help customers derive value from their data?
I think the first thing that people have to understand is that you've got to have a firm data foundation, right? And what do I mean by that? To get any valuable insights from data or achieve any outcomes that you expect from a data or analytics initiative, right? We've got to basically have a firm data foundation that allows us to be able to make sure that that's data that we trust, right? It's data that's the right data housed in the right place in a secure location. It's fully integrated with other data that may be relevant to something we're looking to gain some insights about. And so I look at data as an overall program approach, right? And in order to make sure that we're helping a client in a transformation or even a cloud migration, we can't just look at lifting and shifting. We can't just look at actually taking somebody's on-premise solution and moving it to the cloud without having an eye on, are we putting the right data into that environment? Is that data clean and can be trusted? Have we put some sort of framework in place to govern who has access to that data, who can change that data? Have we gone through and made sure that we did all that we could to make sure that the data is of quality, that we're going to get the value-added insights we'd expect to get from it? So I think in looking at it from a program approach, right, an end-to-end program approach is a smart way to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right, Sean. People are looking at modernization, and there's some huge drivers right now. Obviously, with this global pandemic, I'm working from home, you're working from home. Yeah. A lot of our clients are facing some really difficult times from a financial perspective. And modernizing your architecture, your data landscape does offer some opportunities for savings and cost savings. I mean, I worked years ago with a company, a retailer. We actually did a project where the CIO said it was, in his words, a self-funding initiative. And, as a professional services guy, I love hearing that, right? You love to hear that from your client, that they thought it was a self-funding initiative. And really what he meant was he had a committed spend for an initiative on pure data storage, right? In an enterprise data warehouse that was legacy they'd been using for years. Mm-hmm. And their challenge, while it wasn't in today's modern cloud environment, they needed to figure out a way in which to migrate some data into a lower cost way of housing that data so they could save on that committed spend. And he looked at it as diverting that spend and doing some more high value analytic use cases that we brought to the table to help provide them with some insights that they desperately needed. So by cleaning up and migrating some of that data, in that case, we did a bake-off for them. We leveraged Cloudera, MapR, and Hortonworks at the time, if you remember, before all the mergers and acquisitions in that space.
That's right.
They selected Hortonworks, and we went through a process of rationalizing the data, moving it into a data lake and saving them a tremendous amount of money, and then diverting that spend and leveraging the environment, that unified environment we put together, that platform, to be able to do those high-value analytics.
A lot of what you said, right, in the answer to your first question is very common to the things that I'm hearing or reading. Specifically, I think I'm seeing organizations really trying to simplify their data environments and particularly to move off legacy technologies or even some technologies that are popular and prevalent out there, but that have gone end of life, like Netezza. So in the place that I'm hearing, at least, where people are going with that are Snowflake, Amazon Redshift, Databricks in the data lake space.
Yep.
Is that where we would normally recommend? Is that the place, when you talk about savings, is that the place where we would go to provide that kind of savings?
So it's interesting you say that, right? We have strategic alliances and part of our global ecosystem with all of those providers. We want to make sure we partner with the best and the latest technologies that are providing our clients with true value. And so in trying to unify the data, right? So it's not just a cost savings initiative, but really what you said, Sean, is unifying that data so it's analytics ready, right? Making sure that we have it housed in one centralized location. And a lot of folks that had gone to data lakes are still leveraging them, but we're seeing more and more of a push towards these cloud native solutions like Snowflake, which is getting a lot of play in the marketplace. And
Yep.
rightfully so. They've done some brilliant architecting of the solution, and we're seeing more and more clients migrate towards that. And the other thing there is it's a consumption-based model,
Right.
which is becoming very popular these days, where you pay for essentially what you're leveraging or using from the solution.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really, really important, right? Because it seems to me that organizations have obviously programs that are going after their data, but also you have data scientists who are given a question to answer, right? And that may be an ad hoc thing. You've got event-driven things that come up. I mean, this is clearly being a big event that we're all involved in right now, but those things really can't be planned for ahead of time. How do you plan or manage the appropriate storage and compute power to be able to ask the questions that are vital to be asked at this time?
And there's a lot of great technologies out there. I think one of the big trends that we're seeing, I wrote a recent article about it, Sean, is around augmented intelligence, right? So when we talk about AI and ML, think about all the great tools that are out there that are BI tools. Name a few. I'll just name one: Power BI, right? I think I shared recently in that article how Power BI is leveraging ML in order to be able to help clients frame better queries, leveraging the data that they have within the data set. There's some really great things that are out in the marketplace now, and I think we're going to start to see AI and ML versus some experimentation that a lot of people are doing become more mainstream, but also be more embedded into everything we do. All the technologies that we leverage and all the processes that our clients bring to bear to solve complex problems within their organization.
Please stay tuned to the Nest channel for some more episodes from my interview with Scott. Thank you very much.